Welcome to Spiritual Sauce, the podcast where we talk to spirit and invite you to join the conversation. We are your
Yes.
hosts,
Valerie Medina.
and Christine Boschen. This is a reaction video to a session in which Valerie channels and Christine asks questions. You can find the original recording and associated reaction videos in the playlist called Valerie's First Channeling Session. Oh, we have one more topic that we covered in that video.
Okay.
How do we transition from looking at life through fear to looking at life through love?
That was a big episode.
That was a big episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are universal, or is it different for each of us?
Can you repeat your question in a way that Valerie will understand it?
Okay, sure. I'll try it again. Um, I'm just reflecting on my own life and my own transformation. And of course, I think this is a continual transformation, although some of it happened in bigger chunks than others. Transforming out of a space of seeing the world through fear and judgment into seeing the world through love and heart-based curiosity and connection. And so when you're describing Valerie's guides, when you're describing a household where there may be members of the household who are approaching life and others with love, and members of the household that may be approaching through the perspective of fear, is there an awakening process that we go through as human beings to move out of that space of fear and into the space of love? And can you talk to us about that process, please?
Oh, sure.
Oh,
Of
sure.
course. Oh, sure. This is a big one. This is a
Okay.
big one because we are born into families that give us opportunities to grow in ways we did not, to grow out of discomfort.
So discomfort is a necessary ingredient, is what I'm hearing.
Exactly. The whole point is, the whole point of
Sorry, can I just pause this for a moment? Do you see how
Yeah.
much joy is on your
Yeah.
face channeling?
Yeah.
So it's
Yes.
kind of like it's so
And
funny.
you know why? It's because they were going, yes, I want to answer this question. They were like so excited that this question came up, Christine.
Yeah, they
Like,
were.
yes, we're ready to tell you.
Oh, sure. And they just it's
Oh,
just so
yeah.
it's so cute because I mean it's really endearing because we're like we don't like that, right? Like we don't like it when it's hard and they're just thinking it's funny and fun.
Yeah. That's exactly what you're supposed to do is be uncomfortable
Yeah,
because you're not going to change if you're
if
comfortable.
you're comfortable.
You're just going to go about your life.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and you won't know the difference between joy and pain or love and fear. You just exist. What kind of life is that?
It's like a lawn, Valerie. That's exactly what it's like. It's like a lawn with
Yeah,
no dandelions in it.
exactly. And hey, there's some purpose to the weeds.
Well, yeah, yeah, that anyhow, that's my
Especially
soapbox right now.
especially the sticky ones that hurt your feet when you walk on them,
Oh, yes.
right?
The ones that get like in your clothes and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So I that was really all I wanted to say is like your guides are delighted and
They
it's just
are.
coming
They
through.
are. And I remember when you gave that question, they were just like so ooh, going forward. They want to answer that. And it was just coming fast.
So shall we hear the rest of what they have to say?
Yeah.
being challenged. Okay, so when we're on the other side and we choose to incarnate in a lifetime, we set ourselves up with several goals and
Mm,
accomplishments that we want, things we want to accomplish. We want to experience compassion. We want to transmute fear into self-love. We want to experience a lifetime of where we are ill and want to experience the love of complete love of others.
Mm.
So, I mean, there's so many ways to experience life, and our souls incarnate into families, as a matter of fact, in order to give us those challenges that we need.
So families aren't always supposed to be cozy.
No, not at all. They're not supposed to be. Parents are not supposed to be.
Parental?
Exactly. Well, there's many ways to say it.
Yeah.
Loving, showing affection. They're not always supposed to be safe. They're not always supposed to be all the things that we're told as human beings that parents need to be.
Parents need to be in that they are, right? By definition, right? We have
Well,
these
they're human.
standards.
They're human beings, and they decided to incarnate into this lifetime with us to provide us with the opportunities for our souls to grow. They're
Mm-hmm.
on their own journey too.
Mm-hmm.
And so they are coming into the lifetime with a set of goals too.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the goals are to challenge us.
Mm-hmm.
So if we want to explain Valerie's lifetime, that had two very immature parents who were very selfish
Mm-hmm.
in their own way. But they were doing the best they could.
Mm-hmm.
But in this, if you're looking at it from the soul's point of view, they were that way so that Valerie could go inward, so
And
that
grow.
Valerie could learn to provide herself with love,
Mm.
so she could
Right.
experience self-love. Now, it took a long time to understand and look back at that experience where her parents didn't always provide safety, didn't always one parent was physically abusive, one parent was both parents were emotionally abusive. So those opportunities, those were golden opportunities for
Mm.
Valerie. And for many years, Valerie experienced victimhood,
Mm.
and she attracted the energy of partners who also contributed to, as she looked for love on the outside,
Mm-hmm.
in others, in friends and partners,
Mm-hmm.
she found people who were insufficient.
Can I just reflect on that teaching there for a moment? It's it's like we asked we asked for an understanding of you take like what is the process of awakening, right? And so they're starting with, well, first you set yourself up and you come to this agreement before you come into life, right? Like
Yeah.
you get to be the bad guy. Okay, yeah, yeah, great, great. I'll be the bad guy.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and you get to be the victim, right? And and then so we see the deficiencies of the parenting,
Hmm.
and then we see the internalization of a certain experience. And then that internalization is attracting, it's an energy that is attracting like a repetition of that experience.
Over and over again.
And
Yeah.
then they're talking about looking for love on the outside. So it's it's like the setup is there's deficiency on the outside because if you had sufficiency, if you had everything you needed on the outside, you wouldn't have to develop your understanding that you have it on the inside
And it's always to help you remember who you are.
to remember who you are.
Yeah.
Right. And so I just wanted to kind of slow it down a little bit so that we could follow along with, because like you said, they were chomping at the bit to teach and
Put
share.
it
And
all together. Yeah.
yeah. And so I wanted to like okay, before we go on to the next part that they're about to say, I wanted to just kind of recap what we just heard. Did you have anything to add or we're good
We're good.
to start?
I'm
Okay.
good. I'm closing my eyes because it's almost like I'm blown away by this answer.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm really loving their enthusiasm. And also quite fascinated that they're talking about you in the third person because
Uh-huh.
earlier you were channeling your higher self and your higher self was not doing that. So this is clearly another guide or set of guides.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so we'll keep going here.
Who were immature, who weren't ready for love. They were not the right partners for Valerie.
But maybe
So
the right partners for continuing that life lesson opportunity,
exactly,
right?
exactly. They were put in that lifetime later on so that Valerie could continue the work of turning inward and starting to little by little practice self-love. And it's taken an entire lifetime to come back to that. And it's been only within the last 5 years or 6 years that the lessons are looked back on and the patterns are there. And Valerie can then put her lifetime in order and go, oh, that was there for my benefit, and that was there for
Mm,
my benefit. So the
mhm,
victimhood of it goes away and the gratitude comes in
mm.
because the lifetime is full and rich of this beautiful experience that now she can go, she doesn't need to look for love in all those other places, like your song.
Like the song, I was just gonna say, looking for love
Yeah,
in all the wrong places.
exactly.
Uh,
Exactly.
Too many faces. I'm laughing at myself because I have the very same reaction now that I did
I do
then.
too. Whenever I hear the phrase looking for love,
But no, I
or
mean like I say and then to have the same questions come up my head that I asked the first time around.
oh,
So I'm
really?
just
Oh,
yeah,
oh, oh.
I'm just like I'm so predictable. Like that's funny to me. That's not a
That's
channeling thing.
cool.
That's just a
That's
Christine thing.
cool. Yeah,
So no longer looking for love in all the wrong places.
right.
Looking f-
Or like Eddie Murphy says as Buckwheat, looking for wub.
looking looking for love. But
Looking for wub.
that kind of takes it back to the inner child, right? Like it's the inner child that shows up on the scene with the innocence of the expectation that everyone's going to be loving, right? And then
Right,
goes, "What? What's
right.
going on here?"
Yeah.
So, so this is universal, really. This experience that you are
Yes.
chronicling in Valerie's own storyline. So
Hmm.
every single one of us has our unique, sacred story, life story,
Yes.
which which has which we all start out as kids. We all start out as infants and children and grow into, if we're fortunate enough to become adults, that is the trajectory. So there's always going to be this pathway of being young and being in the care of others to being older and self-sufficient. Although, of course, that's not everyone's storyline. But so what you're describing could be a very familiar, recognizable storyline, although everyone will have their unique story.
Right.
And and that's on purpose and divinely decided upon and intricately set up for all of us to play roles in each other's lives, right? And some of
Exactly.
the
Exactly. Over and
time
over again
over
in
and
each
over again.
lifetime. So my mother may was in my lifetime and she may come in as my daughter in another lifetime or my best friend
Right,
or my uncle or even my dog.
right.
You don't know for what purpose. Uh, Unfortunately, we don't have the knowledge or hindsight exactly why, unless you get past life regression. Um,
So we might have
you
some
could,
awareness. And
yeah, yeah, you might have an awareness. You might have dreams
yeah.
uh, that are important that kind of define that or give you clarity on that. And you when you work on your intuition, when you work on trusting yourself, gosh. So, the lifetime is built up with all these
Can
foundational
I just say
lessons,
something?
right?
Yeah.
So did you see when I went like this? It was because it was because I was feeling the energy in my head and I had to move it around because I was
Oh,
uncomfortable. Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that kind of move sometimes I can feel it's like it's coming in. The energy is really big and I kind of feel uncomfortable. And so I kind of moving my head around to receive it and trying to listen
Interesting.
too. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So that, yeah, I didn't, I mean, I noticed you do stuff like that, and I didn't
Yeah.
know that was why. So you're like it's part of you like being
It's
that
part of the
conduit.
channel. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a physical manifestation of where the energy is and how it's coming
Mm-hmm.
through.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. Was there more you wanted to say?
Yeah. No, I know. That's it.
Okay,
I just wanted to
that was
for
part of
people
it.
who are wondering how what channeling looks like or how it feels.
Right.
It Yeah,
It,
that's how it feels. It's kind of moving me around.
well, it moves me around too.
Does it?
Well, I mean, like I think often the the messages that come through are actually physical motion when I'm
Mm,
channeling. So like
mm-hmm,
I'll like you're actually a dancer. So
mm-hmm.
you've mentioned when you dance, it's like you're channeling it's divine energy flowing through you.
Yes, I feel the music flowing through me.
Yeah.
I'm that open to the music,
Wow.
and it really it makes my like when I hear certain parts of a song, it makes me want to move a certain part of my body a certain way. It's very co-creative with the musicians.
Hmm. Amazing. So is that similar to you to this, or this is something different when you're channeling and you're moving your
Well,
hand?
this seems to be, from what I can tell, I mean, I'm fairly new to channeling, or you know what it is, I'm fairly new to watching myself channel.
Right. Right.
That's it's not that I'm new to channeling, but
Right.
just and so I noticed that I definitely want. I noticed when the energy was first coming through me, it moved my whole body.
Mm.
Now, when I'm sitting and channeling, it's coming in and it's moving my head
Mm-hmm.
because it's coming in through the crown.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
I imagine if I asked it to come through another, like if I was channeling my inner child, I could ask for it to come in through my heart chakra,
Mm-hmm.
and I might feel a heaviness, or I might feel something there.
Mm-hmm.
um so I think it depends on what you ask for.
That's interesting. Yeah. I'm just imagining what it'd be like to go through all of the chakras and channel through them.
Yeah, I was thinking that too when I
Yeah.
just said it. Ah.
Yeah. And probably we'd get more Mother Earth energy in our base chakra.
Yeah,
And I don't know who they get through our sacral chakra. That would be interesting.
yeah.
Solar plexus chakra. Anyhow, that's an interesting thing. We should maybe try that sometime.
Mm-hmm.
So back to what so your guides are telling us about family relationships and how we support each other through the choices we make and the roles that we play.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it is also in order to learn to trust yourself, to listen to yourself,
Mm,
to establish a connection with the other side if you want it, to get you can access the wisdom that's there. You can love in a different way. It's all about love. There are only really two emotions that everything stems from: love and fear.
mm,
So, what you have in a lifetime is is just a road to travel, and you pick and choose your experiences. You make your decisions. There's no right or wrong decisions. because every single decision provides you with an opportunity to have a lesson, to learn from that. Now, if I kept choosing, if Valerie keeps choosing to learn that lesson over and over again, she'll continue to make those decisions to pull in that energy of looking for love on the outside of her rather than within her own heart.
And yet, love is that which binds us, correct? So there's something very subtle here to be explained, right? Because there is still love on the outside, but it's the same love that's on the inside, right? If it's am I understanding? I mean, we do have connections to each other. We are all part of the same love. And so can you talk a little bit more about what is the difference between looking or finding that wellspring of love inside, that never-ending wellspring? Did you see what happened with the light just there?
No, I closed my eyes.
Oh, the
What? Do it, play
video.
it again.
So what you have in a lifetime is is just a road to travel, and you pick and choose your experiences. You make your decisions. There's no right or wrong decisions, because every single decision provides you with an opportunity to have a lesson, to learn from that. Now, if I kept choosing, if Valerie keeps choosing to learn that lesson over and over again, she'll continue to make those decisions to pull in that energy of looking for love on the outside of her rather than within her own heart.
And yet, love is that which binds us, correct? So there's something very subtle here to be explained, right? Because there is still love on the outside, but it's the same love that's on the inside, right? If it's am I understanding? I mean, we do have connections to each other. We are all part of the same love. And so can you talk a little bit more about what is the difference between looking or finding that wellspring of love inside, that never-ending wellspring of love inside versus seeking validation, is it? I just saw the warmth in the room expand when I talked about love being everywhere. Did you see that?
I was wondering if something was going to change around those words when I heard you start it again, and I
Yeah.
didn't see anything.
Oh, I'm seeing
Did
it here
you?
on my computer screen. That's really
Okay.
interesting. It just got brighter. I
You
read
mean
it.
over in the right-hand corner?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do see that. And I thought, is that my imagination? That no, was it that bright before?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
no, it
did.
got a
I do see that little
little
area is brighter. I mean,
richer and brighter.
I keep my I was keeping my eye on these strands of light above your head to the right.
Oh,
Um,
interesting. Yeah.
I was looking there,
Oh,
but
I was
you're right.
the red, the red and the pink got richer and brighter, talking about universal love. Anyhow, that was
That's
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah. So so I was fascinated by like, okay, well, wait a second. Like if we're all love, right, then how is it that there could be a wrong place to look for love if so because we do have connections. So see how I'm asking the same question again.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
see. We'll see what you had to say. What's the difference between looking for love outside, externally, versus looking for love internally?
Well, seeking validation is really a superficial, um, you know, you're dependent on others' view of you. And
Hmm.
why do that to yourself when everything you need is within you?
Okay, I get it now. So seeking validation is looking for love in the wrong place, which is very different than the actual just simple expression of love, like the gift of love.
Right. And I don't know. if I talk about it here, but do I bring up talking about when you're looking at another person, you see it, they are a mirror image of yourself?
I think you do. Maybe you're about to talk about that.
I remember something about that mirror.
So why look to others to validate you, to make you feel seen when you are enough? Everything you need, you have. So giving love is, I mean, if I heard you right, you're talking about the difference between giving love to the collective and giving love to yourself. There's no difference.
Right, there's no
Anytime,
difference.
right? Because anytime you do something for yourself, you give love to yourself, you're giving love to all, because we are all. So
And
anytime you do a kindness to another human being, you're doing a kindness to yourself.
yes. So to go back to the difference between Valerie's experience in looking for love externally versus looking for love internally, or finding love internally, being love internally, there's still those other people on the other side of those equations or those relationships or those lessons that are part of the collective universal love. So can you tell us a little bit more? Can you help us understand the difference between, is it like a codependency, or um, am I asking this question clearly? Should I
Well,
rephrase?
when you first started talking, I imagined this pulsing heart, and it
Mm,
grows bigger and bigger as you create an understanding of yourself as a divine being and as a drop of source. Or like I like to say, like we like to say, we are all God.
mm,
We are, because we are all of source, right? We
mm.
all are infinite. We don't die. We
I think you're channeling your higher self here now. You're back to like
Uh-huh.
we,
Because
I.
it's like I switched. We, yeah,
Yeah, and you're
yeah.
soft. It's a softer energy. It's a feminine energy that I'm feeling coming off of you, whereas I think a moment before it was a little bit more of a masculine energy coming through the guide.
Yeah.
we're infinite beings, and we all have the ability, the power to create our own reality. We we come into this world to experience the hard, the dense, the drama,
Mm,
because that's exciting. Because when we're on the other side, what we think we have,
mm,
it's all we have to do is think of something and we have it. We're all energy on the other side. So there's no, we can experience anything on the other side. But
mm.
here, it's harder to move energy here. So
And so
when
we
I
actually
think of,
want that.
yes, we want that experience because number one, we are of service to humankind by experiencing a lifetime. We are moving within the collective. We are moving energy, creating love throughout your lifetime,
Mm,
or not. But what I was thinking of when you were talking is this pulsating um, energy force field kind of thing that just
mm,
grows and grows and grows, and
mm,
then you inform the collective, you heal the collective, you add to it, and it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. More people understand, more people come to understand.
mm,
As my guides like to say, we visit each and every one of you,
mm,
and in your dreams. we help you understand how important you are. It's your ego that messes you up. It's your ego and that little voice inside you that you keep feeding that messes with your ability to love yourself and love others.
Mm.
That fear that keeps coming up, and that feeds that little voice that tells you you're not enough. So you always have to make your way back to love. And
Can I just say what I'm hearing from the answer to the question?
Go
It's
ahead.
about being centered in self-love and sufficiency, like knowing you're enough, and that is becomes the point of connection rather than
Yeah.
connecting through fear and
Yeah.
insufficiency.
Yeah. That's big.
Yeah, it is that simple shift. If you say like it's either love or it's fear, and if you connect through starting with self-love, which goes back to what the guides were saying when I was the one channeling,
Mm.
they were saying, remember they took us to like your darkest moments, your loneliest moments are the moments that make you go within, and that's how you find the connection to everyone
Yes.
else.
Yes.
So they're using different ways of explaining the same thing to us.
Mm-hmm. And
Oh,
I
sorry.
think
Go ahead.
as a channel,
Yeah.
it depends on the receptacle that they're talking through. And it's almost like a little bit of my personality is in there. Oh, and
Yes.
when you channel, a little bit of the way you talk and the way your personality is with all your visualization, I
Yeah.
think that and your metaphors, and
Yeah.
it's and you know how I said I used word, I could tell there that I was hearing the words come in as they came in. You
Mm-hmm.
can hear me as I'm hearing the word and I'm repeating it as it's coming in
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a little slower. I'm stacked.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and then yeah, I'm waiting for it to come in. I forgot what I was going to say. I mean, I think, oh, I use the word, that's what messes you up. That's
That's
the
a
way I talk.
right.
And
Right.
it's interesting
Yeah.
that, but I was
They
listening for what they said,
yeah.
and they talked like me. They
Which is
gave me
why
the words to say that are mine.
which is why why that's one indication to me that this is higher self, Valerie, that you're channeling. And like when we first asked your guides who they are, they said we're a collective, and so maybe this is a
Right.
bit of a blended energy here,
Yes.
especially because you are using we and I, like a little bit is going back and forth between we and I.
Hmm. And remember that we as individuals, I as an individual am part of the team, my collective, my
Yes.
team.
Hmm.
I am equal to them, and they are not higher or better than I, and they
Right.
are they are all part of me, and inform what comes out. But I feel really it's important for us to know as channelers that we are equal and
Right.
not um, and not inferior to our team.
Right. Right. That they need us
They do.
to be the vehicle for bringing the love into this plane.
And the experiences, because they're right there with us having experiences. Some of
Interesting.
them, especially the angels, they've never experienced a life on earth.
So we're
So
helping
they
them.
have no idea. I mean, they are there to protect us and to
Yeah.
support us and to do what we command them to do.
Huh.
But and the ascended masters have experienced many lifetimes on earth and are done incarnating for now.
Hmm.
So, that's the difference between them. So they, I think, understand us. The ascended masters understand us on a visceral level.
Hmm.
They understand how deep, dark, and dirty we are as human beings.
Mm.
How we can be,
Yeah.
how we can take information and use it to hurt ourselves
Mm.
through the ego.
Mm-hmm.
We can really destroy ourselves through ego talk.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can only transmute that fear into love, and especially self-love, starting with self-love,
Starting
always
with
starting with
self-love,
self-love.
right? That seems to be okay. Step number one is feel victimized and
Go
deserted.
within.
Step number two is find self-love, and then between step number one and step number two, there's a lot of like do-overs and
Yeah, a lot of do-overs. A lot of coming to the understanding that you can't look for someone else to um, validate you, make you happy, um, point out all your goodness.
provide
You have
everything
to
that you
see,
need,
yeah, you have to see the goodness that's within you. You
and
have to
also have
understand it.
grace for the badness, right?
Yes, yes. Have love for all those mistakes that you make, because
Yeah.
those are learning experiences. Those teach you things
Yeah.
about yourself. They teach you about your resilience,
Mm.
you know, and um, they also teach you when you're lacking love for yourself. So,
Because to embrace the dark parts
mm-hmm,
are that's
yeah,
like one of the most powerful aspects of love.
yes, yes,
And when
and
you can
not,
embrace your own dark parts, you can then have grace for other people's dark parts
yeah,
too.
and that's without shame and guilt. The
Yeah.
shame and guilt come from fear.
Hmm.
So it's important to work on understanding yourself as a human being and accepting that ah, I make mistakes. I don't understand everything all the time. You know, I don't act nice every day.
Right.
I
Right.
flipped
There's a
off
lot
that
of that.
driver this morning. I honked at him. I'm I'm a little passive aggressive. I honk at them just a
No,
little bit, just a beep.
I'm laughing because it reminds me of a time that I was biking on the sidewalk about a year ago, and I rang my little bell. There was a lady
Uh-huh.
walking in front of
Uh-huh.
me, and I rang my little bell. And this is on a sidewalk where the street right next to me is very busy traffic with no shoulder at all. Like there's no
Right.
place for a bike to be. And she
Right.
says to me, and I think it was a Russian accent, and that was just whatever that was, but get in the street. And she was so mean. But the thing that was really funny is that like all of a sudden I wanted to murder this poor lady. I wanted to like pick her up and throw her into the street. And then I yelled some obscenities at her and I'm like, you walk in the street. Why didn't you get killed by a car? I'm not going to get killed by a car this morning. And then I'm like, oh wow, I thought I was a nice person. I was ringing my little bell.
You started off ringing your little ding ding.
Yeah. And then she like pulled the devil right out of me and I went, oh my gosh.
But you know what? The wonderful thing about that is that 20 years ago or 30 years ago, you might not have recognized that little devil, and you accepted it. And look at now, you can talk about it without shame because you accept that human part of you. So you've come a
Actually,
long way,
there was
right?
a little step in between there because 20, 30 years ago, I might not have stuck up for myself, actually,
Ah, oh, that's important.
right?
That's important to know. That's
Yeah.
interesting that transformation from
Hmm.
speaking up, using your
Right.
heart chakra to
I
speak
think
up,
that, yeah.
and then accept the part
Like,
of you that sounded a little rough.
yeah. And it's like, and
But
I was all judgy and also
right, that's what I was going to
like
say. You were
j-
judgy. Yeah.
judgy and even racist. Like, oh, she was Russian. I'm like, wait a second. A
And just
quarter of
because
my
she has an accent, she don't know nothing, right?
no, it was more just like she must be Russian mafia. Like I had this whole like
Oh,
backstory to her with
right.
this lady walking down the
Oh,
street.
oh, that's funny.
It was a little moment in time. Anyhow, we love all of ourselves. I wanted
Right.
to ask you, it's almost 9. Do you want to
Okay.
stop or do you want to keep going a little bit?
Um, you want to just finish with the answer to this and then stop?
Let's do
I
that.
kind of want to hear the answer.
Yeah, me too.
You always have to make your way back to the understanding that you are us and we are you. We are no better than you, and you are no better than us. But together we work as a team. Together, our collective energy makes miracles.
You were just talking about that.
Yeah.
Together, the collective energy makes miracles. And what is a miracle if not a transmutation?
Right. The simplest thing can be a miracle, depending on what it is, who it is. You know,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
we say, I don't know why I use that word miracle now.
It's a great
That I think
word.
about it.
It's a great word.
It's a big word. It's a big word. You know,
And
it
and
means a lot. Miracle.
it is a big word. It speaks to magic. It speaks
Yeah.
to divinity,
Impossibility.
the impossible
Impo
becoming possible.
right. Yeah.
Want to hear what the rest of the
Yeah.
Makes lots of love. And that's what we need. That energy when you walk into a room and you notice someone who's done some healing work and you're attracted to them because there's something they have. There's some knowing that they have. And what is it? It's that they love out loud.
they exude light, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And if you see someone, if you notice the opposite, someone who complains a lot, who thinks that everyone is out to get them and life is really hard. Yes, life is hard. But the whole point is to transmute the hardness, transmute the difficulty into love and have gratitude for the experiences. I, I think I think what the guides keep telling me as a channel over and over again.
See, I'm out now. I came
Right,
out. I came
right.
out to answer this question.
Fair enough, because you're on the team, right? Shall we see what you
Right.
have to say?
Exactly. I got something to
Okay.
contribute.
Yeah, exactly. Let's hear what you have to say.
Is that
Wait, wait,
all
wait.
negative?
Are you did this? Was this bringing the channeling in?
I don't know. I know. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe. I know it wasn't that I was hurt or anything. It maybe to bring, I don't know.
I was just wondering based on what you said about the head motions.
Right.
Activity that you have, that you experience in life is there, put there by you in order to learn.
Hmm.
So, and it's always to come back to love. So how do you get to love? You get to love through gratitude,
Ooh.
because even the hard spots in life,
See, you're still channeling.
Now I'm channeling
Yeah,
again. Yeah.
you jumped back, you came out and then you're like, oh wait, no, 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 and then you're
I
back
think
into
I
it.
was getting back to channeling. I think
I
that's what
think you
that
were.
was.
Yeah.
Maybe I
So
was afraid to answer the question. I don't know.
you're
Like
you're just
like
it's
I
a
like to
weaving.
say, like I
It's
like to say, and let me say what the guides say instead.
but you're part of the team, and so it doesn't really even matter, right?
No, yeah.
So gratitude. So we're now at gratitude.
Yeah. The best way to love is through gratitude. Be thankful for all the parts.
All the parts.
Yeah.
hard. Yes, life is hard, but the whole point is to
Boy, that's a strong
transmute the hardness.
What's that?
that's a strong that I felt that energy come in hard. That one. I could
Yes, life is
tell.
hard.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
get over it.
Exactly. It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be hard.
You're not supposed to be. The goal to life is not to be happy.
Right. So there's a little bit of tough love here when it
Uh-huh.
comes they don't suffer fools, basically,
No,
right?
no. Actually, my guides are very strict with me sometimes.
Yeah, and so
I'm
they're
supposed to know more than I pretend to.
Wait, what is this? You're supposed to know more than you pretend to? Like they're like
Yeah,
you're playing small, stop playing small.
exactly. They tell me that all the time. Yeah. They tell me that I know this stuff
Yeah,
and all I have to do is go within to get it,
yeah,
get the information. I have my own way of doing things. I've had readings before where they told the reader that she knows the answer to this. Why is
yeah.
she getting it? It's almost like, why is she getting a reading? She knows the answer to this.
Right. Right.
Yeah, they're kind of tough on me.
And apparently on your audience as well.
Yeah, sorry.
That was a little bit of scolding out there to the world.
Yeah, yeah.
Transmute the difficulty into love and have gratitude for the experiences. I I think I
Did
think
I
what the
repeat myself?
guides keep telling
No,
me as
I
a
rewound
channel
it.
over and over
Oh,
again is that
oh,
all negativity that you have, that you experience in life, is there put there by you in order to learn.
Hmm.
So, and it's always to come back to love. So how do you get to love? You get to love through gratitude. Because even the hard spots in life, if you have gratitude for them, you go, oh, okay, that was for my greater good.
Hmm. Hmm.
That I learned a lesson, and I learned that when I'm down, I know that eventually I'm going to go back up because that's how life is.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a guarantee,
Hmm.
like taxes.
Like
Wait, what?
taxes. Wait, what? Like taxes?
yeah. Was this around tax time?
Probably.
Yeah, I
I
think it
think it
was.
was. That's funny.
I think that was on my mind, on my subconscious.
Yes, that was like bringing it down to reality, making it relatable. It's like taxes, but it's also like the clown, from our childhood that you punch it and it bounces back up.
Bounces back up.
That was
Thank you for joining us. We're glad you're here, and we hope you stick around.
Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, and react. React. Suggest other topics and join the conversation.
Yeah.